All right, hi everyone. I am going to be doing my 2021 bookshelf tour. I thought I'd give you a quick overview of what everything looks like in here. And we're just going to get started right away on the left. So over here is my Sarah J. Maas shelf. I am a huge Sarah J. Maas fan, and I think it shows. I have multiple copies of her books, so I really love it. Up here is a picture of, or a Prithian map. That was a pre-order for, I think it was for ACOWAR, and I had it framed because I really like it. I think it's very pretty, and obviously I love ACOMAF and the whole ACOTAR series very much, so I think it looks really nice there. And then over here I have a quote from A Court of Mist and Fury that my friend Casey made for me. It says, "To the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered," and she just did it really cute and pretty and had it framed. And then here I have my collector's editions. So these are pins. This one is for the ACOTAR series. I think this pin, no, I'm not sure. This was a pre-order gift, but I can't remember for which book, but it was either ACOWAR or ACOFAS. I can't remember which one. And then over here is the Amulet of Orinth pin from the Throne of Glass series, which again was a pre-order gift. So all I had to do was like submit my receipt for that I pre-ordered the book, and I got this for free. I thought that was pretty sweet. So here's the collector's edition of A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'll insert a clip here of like opening it up and how cool it is on the inside. It's got like really cool end papers, the foiling on the cover, and the chapter header, like there's art and stuff, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then this is my Throne of Glass collector's edition. So again, I will insert a little clip here of what it looks like when you take it out of the little case that it has. It's got the same like foiling on the cover, which is really pretty, and it's got pretty end papers and stuff. So it's just really nice to have those. I think they're really pretty, and I like the cases that they're in. And then this is actually a coaster that I just printed out a picture from the internet. I believe this is Charlie Bowater's art. And then my husband just like Mod Podged it onto a coaster. So I just leave that here. So now this bookshelf itself, actually my mom's boyfriend made for me. He's really handy with woodwork. I don't know what you call it, but he built this for me. So I really like that. I think it's, you know, it gives it a little added character knowing that somebody built this for me and built it with love. And then here I have my ACOTAR series. I have the coloring book over here, which I didn't color in because I'm not very good with coloring and I didn't want to ruin it, but it's always fun to flip through. Here I have my A Court of Thorns and Roses arc. I got this in a trade on Twitter. I don't get ARCs, obviously, from publishers, but I really wanted to have this, so I have that up here. And then my hardcover of A Court of Thorns and Roses. I have the UK paperback of A Court of Mist and Fury, which I've tapped the crap out of, and obviously I've read it several times. I have this annotated edition of A Court of Mist and Fury that I've drawn in and I've done some cool stuff with, so I really like that. Some other hardcovers. This one is signed, and then some special editions of A Court of Wings and Ruin, and then the special edition of A Court of Frost and Starlight. Then I just have the new cover of A Court of Mist and Fury. I'm leaving this shelf open because I have several copies of the next book coming in the mail, which should be coming out in February, mid-February. So I will put those editions there because they'll kind of match the new covers that they changed it to. So yeah, I have the new edition of my favorite book, obviously, and I'll be putting A Court of Silver Flames over here on this shelf. Moving down, I have my Throne of Glass series, so I have all of the hardcover editions of it, and then this was a special edition with artwork on the inside cover, which I just flipped to be looking out. Most of these are signed or they're a special edition of the book. This one is one that I annotated and tabbed in. And then down here, I have a few more copies of some of the books from the Throne of Glass series. This is the very first edition with the original cover, which is pretty rare. And then this edition here that doesn't have the dust jacket is my annotated edition, which was the first book I ever like annotated or defaced or whatever. So I like drew on it and I put stuff in the covers. And then I have my 2 copies of Catwoman. So this is a different cover than the original cover. And then this is the signed edition. And then I have my House of Earth and Blood copies. This is the exclusive Waterstones edition with the red sprayed edges. And then this one is my edition that I annotated and tabbed. And then I have just a random copy of A Court of Mist and Fury. It's the paperback, and it didn't fit really anywhere else. And I wanted to leave this shelf open for A Court of Silver Flames. So I just plopped it down here. So now I'm moving on to my white shelves. These are the Billy bookcases from IKEA, and I just recently got them and I really, really love them. They're super high quality. So up at the top here, I have the like gold moon phase thing here that my friend Casey got me for my birthday a while back. And then I have just some random stuff on top. I have a little painting that my husband did with a gnome who I've called Pappy. And then over on this side, I have a bobblehead Funko Pop of Rey from Star Wars, and then a Baby Yoda that I got for Christmas. So this top shelf here, I have a little like pot here for plants, but I haven't put anything in it yet, but it's kind of cute, just peeking out from behind there. And then this I got for Christmas. It's a bookend, but it's blue agate, I think is how you say it. And I think it's so pretty. I really love it. My mom got that for me for Christmas. And then I have my From Blood and Ash books, my Cruel Prince series, just some like dark fantasy, like most of these I think are enemies to lovers books. So my Kingdom of the Wicked books, and then my Leigh Bardugo books I have up here as well. This shelf down here I call my Magical Realism shelf. So it's all the books that have some kind of magical aspect in a contemporary setting. I've just recently realized that that was what magical realism is, and I really, really like that in books. So I have like a whole shelf dedicated to it. Plus I have these tarot cards from Maggie Stiefvater that like, they're not Raven Cycle themed, but they kind of are, like, I don't know. So I have those here. I kind of like to look through the tarot cards because I think they're cool, but I don't know how to do it. And then I have just a little thing of like crystals and stuff here. So yeah, these are all of my magical realism books. And then I have the other blue agate bookend over here. This next shelf is my TBR shelf. So I have a goal this year to try to keep my physical TBR 5 books or less. But if you follow me on Instagram at all, my husband's friend from high school, we don't get to see him as much because he doesn't live in our state, but he called us randomly a couple weeks ago and was just like, oh, I'm gonna send Brandon some stuff for his guitar that he got for Christmas. And I also want to send Hannah stuff. And then he bought me like 11 books from my Amazon wish list. So I have a ton of books now that I hadn't originally had. So I can't keep my physical TBR under 5 now. But these are the books that I have yet to read that I haven't picked up yet. But I'm very, very excited about all of them. So I can't wait to pick them up. And then I have my little mug of bookmarks here. So I like to match my bookmarks to my books. I'll like try to find, you know, colors that go together. Some some bookmarks like fit certain books. Like I know this is a Throne of Glass bookmark. Obviously right here we have a Handmaid's Tale bookmark. So I like to match my bookmarks to whatever book I choose. And then I have this little fairy that I made at a like pottery thing, and the wings look a little janky. I wish I hadn't added the blue and purple on them and just left them yellow, but I like how she looks. I think she's cute. So she just sits here. And then right here I have my reading journals. So this is my 2021 reading journal. This one spans several years because it's just book titles. And then this was my 2021. This next shelf I call my Whimsical Shelf. So it's like, I don't know. I organize my bookshelves by genre as much as I can, and these ones all just kind of fit a similar feel. They're like fantasy or magical realism, but they're very whimsical in feeling, so I put them all on the same shelf. So I have this like super giant edition of Alice in Wonderland plus some other stories, and I have a Arc of Muse of Nightmares that I found, which was pretty cool. And then I have some, like this is a special edition of The Starless Sea, or I don't know if it's a special edition, but it's just a different from the US edition, which I really like this. So yeah, these are all my whimsical books. And then moving down, I have a mix on this shelf of fantasy and then sci-fi, because I don't really have a sci-fi shelf yet. And I like group them with the author because these books are by Jay Kristoff and he co-authored these books. So I put them there, but I have a space left open here for the next book in this series, which I'll be picking up really soon, which is up on my TBR shelf right now. But yeah, this is just fantasy and a little bit of sci-fi. And then at the bottom, I have Harry Potter books, which I have because I like Harry Potter, but I don't really like J.K. Rowling at all. So I'm kind of trying to distance myself from her books. I don't want to buy any more things to support her at all, but this is all stuff that I had previously to her really spouting her ignorance on Twitter. So moving up to the next shelf, I have my mostly young adult books up here. They're not really put on here by genre at all. Like I've kind of put some on by genre, but like this book isn't a young adult book, but it kind of fits with these two books. So I put it up here because there was space for it. I like how this looks because of the colors. And then this is like YA mystery books. This book hasn't come out in the US yet, so I have the UK edition. So like mystery, thrillery types. Yeah, I don't know. And then I have my actual thriller shelf right here. So obviously a lot of these are book of the month books. But yeah, this is just my thriller shelf. And then I have a little book club candle that my friend Casey got for me. And then moving down to my contemporary / adult romance shelf. So I have my stack of mainly adult romance over here. And then that continues a little bit over to here, but then it kind of moves into just like a contemporary books. All my Frederick Bachman books are on this shelf. I like how this shelf ended up looking. And then this shelf here is again kind of like a mixture. So I have all my graphic novels here, and then this random Mad Love novel because I wanted it to be by all the Harley Quinn stuff, and then more graphic novels, and then a sci-fi series, and then some historical fiction, I guess. I don't know if Little Women counts as historical fiction anymore. It's a classic, so, but I didn't have really anywhere else to put them, so they're kind of just there. And then here I have, again, another like mixture shelf. So over here, these are like feminist fiction books. Some of them are dystopian, some sci-fi, some just contemporary, but they have very, very strong feminist themes throughout them. So I've grouped them together. And then I just have like another historical fiction. I have a play, a classic, and then all nonfiction books. So I have a book about the night sky, the Taylor Swift Lover album thing, and then some poetry books, and then some feminist nonfictions, and then some nonfiction books about race, and like white supremacy. And then I have Michelle Obama's memoir, which I hope to get Barack Obama's memoir to go right next to that, but I haven't got that yet. And then this final shelf down here is just like nostalgic books that I keep purely for nostalgia. I mean, I've had these copies of these books here since I was in high school, from the very first time I read them. So obviously the Twilight series, The Host, the Hunger Games series, with this Mockingjay pin that my high school English teacher gave me, and I had pinned on my coat for the longest time. I was so obsessed with Hunger Games. And then obviously the Divergent series as well. And then I have Hamilton over here, like the book about the musical, and it just didn't really fit anywhere else on the shelf, so I just put it down here. And then this book over here, my mom gave me at graduation, and it's just about like a mother-daughter relationship and like things that you want to tell your daughter. So she wrote in it, she highlighted some stuff in it, and it means a lot to me. So I have that displayed over here. So yeah, these are my shelves. I really like how they look. I just recently reorganized. I'm not sure if I said that before, but I had like random like shelves. Like this shelf was over here, and I don't know. I wanted all of my fantasy and magical books to be on one shelf, and then like another kind of hodgepodge shelf over here with everything else. But I really like how everything looks. I think it's nice, and sometimes I just come into this room and stare at my books because, you know, I love them and I love how they look. So yeah, that is my bookshelf tour for 2021. Hopefully I can get to all of these books on my TBR shelf soon, and then add more by next year. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!